My name is Dale Wilhite. I live here for the moment at Telluride, Colorado. Um, Ever since I was a kid, especially in high school, there's always been a false belief that my fellow black students who played basketball in high school at Fort St. Joe, Florida, were better basketball players because of their physical build-up. Basically, that turned out to be a racist statement, although in those days none of us knew that, really. And a lot of black students and basketball players believe the very same thing. They believe that's why black Americans dominated the NBA and college basketball. Well, that turned out to be false, as the late Jimmy the Greek found out, because that kind of a statement cost him his job once. Finally cost him his job with CBS. The truth of the matter is there are two reasons why black people are better than white people when it comes to basketball, in general. Not totally, but in general. Is because, first of all, black people have a love of the game far more than white people do. I've never met a white person that loves basketball as much as most black basketball players. The second reason that black people are better at basketball than white people as a whole, again, not entirely, there are exceptions, is because they practice more. Now, back in those days, in the 70s, you had a lot of different neighborhoods. You had black neighborhoods and you had white neighborhoods, and people still, and unfortunately it's still like that all across America in many places, like East St. Louis. And in black neighborhoods, you would see black basketball players, kids, teenagers, and even adults playing from sunrise to sunset, sometimes every day. They just loved the game, and they played for real. A lot of them didn't goof off. I mean, of course there was a lot of goofing off, but there were times when they played each other and they played for real. In white neighborhoods, I've never in my life seen one white basketball player or kid or adult play basketball from sunrise to sunset. You don't see that. So basically all I'm saying is that the reason why black people play basketball better than white people, at least here in America, is due to the fact they practice more and they love the game more. And that's the only reason why. It has nothing to do with their physical makeup, their physical build, anything. It all has to do with a love of the game and practice. White people want to get into the game of basketball, then you got to do exactly as most black people do when it comes to basketball. You got to have a love for the game, and you got to be serious about it, and you've got to practice and practice and practice. That's the only way you're going to compete. So this racist belief by the late Jimmy the Greek that it's a physical build of the black person that makes them better basketball players is completely false. It just simply comes down to the love of the game. There have been some professional white basketball players who have done quite outstanding, but that's because they love the game and they practice. And that's the only way they were ever going to be able to compete. So the reason you have so many black basketball players dominating the game in high school, college, and professional at the NBA is simply because they love the game, they practice more. And even though we shouldn't care about the color of a person's skin, especially when it comes to sports, because we've all had about a belly full of all this racism in America and in the world. If you want to compete, no matter what your race is, you have to love the game and you have to practice. That's all it is. Thank you for your time.